Michael Jordan is not just the greatest basketball legend of all time, but also one of the very few people in the world who can own cars where money alone isn't enough. There are some you simply cannot buy, even with hundreds of millions of dollars in your pocket. There are those that exist in only a handful of units, and there are those carrying stories that if you've never heard them, you wouldn't believe they were true. But the most shocking part is, the most expensive, rarest car in his collection isn't at the end. It appears right at the beginning. And as you go deeper into this list, you'll realize each car isn't just a machine, it's a part of Michael Jordan's journey to becoming a legend. So which car holds the #1 spot? Let's explore together. The Pininfarina Battista Targa America is the answer. A one-of-a-kind hypercar that is nearly impossible to value, created exclusively for Michael Jordan. When it comes to this car, the concept of price becomes almost meaningless because it's not just a car, it's a statement. With power reaching up to 1,900 horsepower and the ability to accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 1.8 seconds, the Battista was already one of the fastest cars on the planet. But Jordan's Targa America version is even more special. He was directly involved in the design process, choosing an exclusive silver and blue paint scheme, premium leather interior, and especially one very Jordan detail. A custom-made cigar humidor made of glass and aluminum placed right in the cabin, a small detail but one that clearly shows his lifestyle. What makes this car completely different is that it has almost no official price tag, because when you own something unique in the world, you're no longer buying it, you own it. But if you think this is the peak, the next one takes the concept of speed to a whole other level. The Hennessy Venom F5 Roadster takes the second spot, one of the fastest convertibles ever built, with a 6.6-liter twin-turbo V8 producing a staggering 1,817 horsepower, a figure that makes most other supercars seem sluggish. This car was created with a single goal: to break the 300 miles per hour speed barrier, a boundary very few cars dare to touch. But what makes it even more special is its rarity. Only 30 Venom F5 Roadsters exist worldwide, and the version Jordan owns belongs to an extremely limited group, possibly even just a dozen or so. And it doesn't stop there. John Hennessy himself, the brand's founder, personally delivered this car to Jordan's private golf course as a ritual reserved for an extraordinary customer. It's a car that is not only fast, but also a symbol of power and status. But if we're talking about classic rarity, the next one is what truly drives collectors crazy. The Bugatti Veyron Sang Noir at #3, one of the rarest versions Bugatti ever produced, with only 12 units globally. The name Sang Noir means black blood, inspired by the legendary Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantique, one of the most expensive cars in history. True to its name, this Veyron carries a powerful, glossy black exterior combined with carbon fiber details, creating a vibe that is both luxurious and dangerous. With a price tag over $2 million, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour acceleration in just 2.6 seconds, and a top speed of over 400 kilometers per hour, this is not just a car, it's an icon. But interestingly, Jordan doesn't show this car off. He keeps it fairly low-key, like a secret intended only for those who truly understand its value. And if you think modern cars are everything, the next one will take you back to an era where speed was tied to history. The McLaren Mercedes SLR 722 stands at #4, a car carrying racing DNA and a whole motorsport heritage. The number 722 isn't random. It's a tribute to the legendary Sterling Moss's victory at the 1955 Mille Miglia. With a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 producing 641 horsepower, this car was once one of the fastest supercars in the world. But what makes it special is that it was once one of Michael Jordan's absolute favorite cars. He drove it for many years before unexpectedly selling it in 2017. That detail has led many to wonder why someone like Jordan would give up a car with such value. Was it because he's always looking for something newer? Or because his collection has moved far beyond normal standards? But when it comes to emotion, the next car is truly a story. The Ferrari 512 TR at #5 is not just a supercar, it's a piece of Michael Jordan's memory from his peak years. After winning his first NBA championship in 1991, he treated himself to this black Ferrari with the license plate MRJ and quickly turned it into part of his image. He drove it to games and appeared with it in the media. But this car's journey didn't end there. After being resold, it ended up in the hands of Chris Gardner, the man who later became the inspiration for the famous movie The Pursuit of Happiness. However, the Ferrari's fate was not smooth. It was once ravaged by wildfires and neglected for years, bearing the scars of time. Now it is being restored, not just to be as it was, but to tell its own story. It's one car, but it carries an entire journey. But if you think that's the most special story, the next one connects in a way no one expected. The Porsche 930 Turbo Cabriolet Flat Nose at number 6. A Porsche unlike any other 911, with a flat front end and pop-up headlights that make it look extremely distinct. With a turbocharged engine outputting about 325 horsepower and the ability to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 5 seconds, this was already a dream car. But what makes it special is its direct connection to the Air Jordan 6, Jordan's iconic shoe. The design of the nose and the rear wing of this Porsche directly inspired the sneaker's design, meaning every time you see an Air Jordan 6, you're also seeing it a part of this car, a connection between vehicles and culture that not everyone realizes. And if you think this list is only full of luxury cars, the last one brings a completely different twist. The Cadillac XLR at number 7, a car that might sound more ordinary compared to the previous names, but the story behind it makes it special. When General Motors wanted Michael Jordan to drive this car, they didn't do it the usual way. They sent him 3 XLR-Vs at once in 3 different colors and let him choose. Jordan chose the red one, likely because it reminded him of the Chicago Bulls. But what's even more interesting is that this car was custom-tailored with an interior design by Bulgari, and specifically, the Jumpman logo appearing right in the cabin, turning it into a Jordan edition Cadillac. However, despite his involvement, this model was not a commercial success, a total contrast to almost everything else Jordan touched in his career. And that is exactly what makes this car rare in a different way. Rare for its failure and for the story behind it. Looking back at this entire collection, you'll realize one thing. These aren't just expensive cars. They are the puzzle pieces that make up the journey of a legend. From the first car to the priceless hypercars, from speed and luxury to emotion and memory, each car tells its own story. Now the question for you is, if you had to pick one of these, which one would you choose? And do you think there are other secrets hidden behind the doors of Michael Jordan's garage? If you want to explore even crazier collections, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, because the most surprising things are still ahead.